President Trump made some waves politically and economically on Friday when he announced that he was doubling the steel and aluminum tariffs that the U.S. places on imports from Turkey. Now, the president said he was doing this because Turkey was letting its currency drop, thereby making its exports to the U.S. more competitive. The White House said in a statement that this was happening because Turkish imports of steel and aluminum pose a national security threat. But it's pretty clear that this is happening, at least in large measure, because of a political dispute, because of an American pastor being detained by Turkey that the Turkish government won't release despite President Trump's calls for his release. It's clearly a dispute that's angering the president and clearly played a part in this decision.
I have a message on behalf of the President of the United States of America. Release Pastor Andrew Brunson now, or be prepared to face the consequences.
Now, this is a continuation of a trend of using U.S. economic power as a tool, not just in trade disputes, and President Trump has done plenty of that, but also in political disputes. The question is this a good use of U.S. power, or is it a risky one? You know, certainly you've seen this now in the Turkish example, but not just there. There's sanctions in place against Iran, obviously, against Russia, against Cuba, where the president has reimposed some sanctions that President Obama had lifted, and against North Korea, despite some good moves diplomatically between the U.S. and North Korea. And this is not a new practice by President Trump. The use of economic power and sanctions has been going on for a while, but it's being ramped up in the Trump administration. And it's clear that the U.S., as an economic and financial powerhouse, has some leverage it can use in this way. But on the other hand, other countries use the U.S. economic system and the financial system because it's seen as a kind of safe harbor, that it's reliable and can be counted on. The question is, if that's not the case, if the U.S. is not seen as a reliable economic partner and the U.S. system is not a reliable and safe place in which to do business and place investments, will people start to move elsewhere? Certainly, China, Russia, Iran have all suggested that that's a possibility. All that means that the use of U.S. economic power in political disputes is, at a minimum, a risky proposition.